This is the movie spreadsheet where I review, rate, and rank movies based off 5 simple criteria. As always, the reviews are spoiler free until the very last section. For this one, we're going to watch The Substance. Here we go. All right, we're going to start this review with length, which is kind of different than what I normally start it. I normally start with entertainment since it makes up the largest percentage of the overall score, but I feel like length is what stopped me from seeing this movie in the theater. 2 hours and 20 minutes for a body horror genre film just seems like it's going to be long. And when I watched it, I was correct. It was way too long. About an hour and 20 minutes into this movie, I liked it, but I was concerned, where do we go for the next hour? And that concern was legit, and what I feared is what came true. We need to make shorter movies. Very rarely do I feel like, hey, I think that movie should have been longer. And I would say the general audience is going to feel the exact same way. This movie, if it were an hour and 40 minutes, would be a drastically different and better movie. But at 220, it just does not get it done. It's too long. It doesn't make sense. And I think it doesn't make sense because of the length of the movie. So for the length score, 0 out of 10. Entertainment. This is the big one. If you want to crack the top 10, top 50, top 100 movies on the movie spreadsheet, entertainment is where you need to be. And let me tell you, the first hour and 20 minutes of this movie, great. 8.5, 9 out of 10. It is going fantastic. But the problem is we have the initial issue. We have the solution. It's going great. Then we have obviously the climax where stuff starts to change. And then we still have another hour. And the second half of the movie makes no sense compared to the first half. I hated the second half. We're talking 2, 3 out of 10 for the second half. And we're talking 8.5 or 9 out of 10 for the first half. We're going to average those out. We're going to call it 5 out of 10. There are so many plot holes in this story to begin with, and really that second half was just so painful and so slow to watch. Overall, 5 out of 10 for entertainment. Okay, here we go. Achievement of goal, 25% the overall score. Body horror genre. Yeah, this movie does a pretty good job at making me feel uncomfortable. Like when things go on in this movie to Demi Moore's body, I feel uncomfortable watching it. It grosses me out. The stitches and the injections and the needles, and it's making me feel a little bit queasy in my stomach right now as I talk about it. The reason why I'm not going to give this a higher achievement of goal score is that it's just not scary. It's more gross than it is scary. With the caveat of if this movie were a lot shorter and followed what occurred in that first half, this would definitely get a higher achievement of goal score. But that second half, I kind of lose understanding of what is actually going on and what the director is really going for. So for here, achievement of goal, 7 out of 10. It will make you uncomfortable. It is a little bit gross. 7 out of 10. Solid. Ending. Okay, look, this is a horror movie. And so I think we can kind of set the expectation pretty low for horror movies, especially for movies I've rated. What I find is that Act 1, Act 2 tend to be pretty solid. End of Act 2, going into Act 3 is where horror movies really falter, and what separates those really great horror movies from, just the mediocre ones or the bad ones. And this one definitely falls into the mediocre or bad horror genre because of the ending. The ending is awful, and the ending is awful because the movie doesn't know where to end. If this movie is, again, shorter and is an hour and 30 or an hour 40, we're going to get a lot quicker resolution to what's laid in front of us. And even though the movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes and the end feels like the last 40 minutes, we still don't have a lot of questions answered. We don't know why She ultimately did this. We don't know why she was chosen. We don't know who's behind it. We don't know really anything. Nothing was resolved. And then you have the ridiculous ending that takes place. I hated the ending. Ending 0 out of 10. So bad, so awful. The ending alone is one of those movies. It's one of the reasons why I don't know I could recommend this movie, if I could recommend this movie at all, because the ending is so bad and it doesn't wrap up anything. I really wish it had been the first hour and 20 and then 20 minutes after it. So an hour and 40 minutes total to make a different ending where it all wraps up easy peasy. And this one just doesn't do it. And the ending is awful. So the ending alone makes me want to say to you, watch the first hour, 20 minutes if you like body horror. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable. The last hour after that, not worth your time. Ending, one more time, 0 out of 10. Okay, here we go. Penalty section. Yeah, this movie's definitely getting a penalty because giving this movie a 0 for length and a 0 for ending does not do the end of this movie and the length of this movie enough justice. So, penalty, 5 out of 10. So that means we're going to take off half a point from this movie's total. For the ending, the gore and blood, and I can't even begin to describe the ending, nor would I want to spoil it for you. It's awful. It's beyond stupid. It makes no sense. And once again, it doesn't fit with the first hour and 20 minutes of this movie. Penalty, 5 out of 10. Okay, here we go. Overall score reveal time. Now, real quick, before I do the review scores and then the overall score, if there is a movie you want me to watch, just comment below and I'm happy to watch it and add it to the movie spreadsheet. So, here we go. Entertainment, 5 out of 10. Really, two different movies. So, first half, 8 out of 10. Second half, 2 out of 10. Balance it out somewhere in the middle, call it a 5. Achievement and goal, 7 out of 10. Looking at ending and length, both zeros, with a half a point penalty for the final 15 minutes of the movie, which if you've seen it, you understand. Now, overall score reveal time, 3.75 out of 10. This makes this movie number 249 out of 316 on the movie spreadsheet. Look, I felt like the big problem this movie had was the first half of the movie is a different movie than the second half. And I almost feel like if you could take those two movies and you could separate them and you can make an ending for the first half or a beginning for the second half, it would be a better overall experience than this movie. I really liked the first hour and 20 minutes of this. I hated the last hour, and that's definitely reflected in that overall score. Now, if you like body horror, here's 2 to check out. I would check out Appendage, which is higher rated barely than this movie. It's a 5.1 on the movie spreadsheet. And then also a kind of weirder one is to check out Tusk. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit more extreme. So definitely recommend those 2 over this one. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Okay, this is the section after the review. So we're going to call this the lagniappe section. That has just made my wife extremely happy because I use a New Orleans word, which I think means a little something extra. I don't know. I don't really care. We're just going to call it that. I'm from Seattle. Go Seahawks. Go Mariners. But after I watched this movie and I added it to the spreadsheet and I saw how bad it performed, I then sorted the spreadsheet based off the year and I looked at 2024. 2024 has been extremely disappointing. It's been the only year in the last 4 years in which the average movie is sub 5. Atrocious. Why? So I started thinking, what is going on with movies in 2024? Am I just not finding the right movies? So again, comment below, check the spreadsheet. It's linked below. Comment if you think there's a movie in 2024 that I need to see that would help boost the rating. But I came up with this idea. I came up with essentially 5 things I think are going wrong in movies in 2024 that I hope are corrected in 2025. So, number 1, trailers. Trailers are just giving so much away. It's so difficult to go to movies. I actually, again, shout out AMC, Premiere List, Stubs, highest level, whatever it is. I actually go to movies and I get my spot, aisle, away from people. And then I actually go stand outside the theater and I wait until I hear the trailers are over before I go back inside. Because trailers just give away so much of movies. I can't stand it. I hate it. I wish trailers would really go away, or they would just publish the start time of movies and then the trailers start before that time, right? Like it's kind of like going to a sports game and them telling you what time warm-ups begin. That's crazy. What time's the actual game begin? That's what people care about. What time's the actual movie start? So trailers, get out of my life. I hate you. 2, originality. We're just adding movies to franchises right now. Like we have Gladiator 2, which might be the biggest movie of 2024, is just in addition to Gladiator. We have Beetlejuice being added to Beetlejuice. We have Deadpool as being added to the Deadpool. It's just like, are we not able to come up with new ideas that are innovative and creative and not like Alien Romulus, which is again just crap added to the Alien franchise that people are going to love because it's Alien, even though it sucks. 3, lengths. I hate modern day movie lengths. They're too long. They don't need to be this long. Or, no, you know what? Not or. Make your movies shorter. Okay, they're boring because we're drawing them out. I don't need movies that are north of 2:15, 2:30. No, edit yourself. Make movies as long as they need to be. Length is, we're doing a really bad job at that. 4, fight scenes. I am so sick of fight scenes just for the sake of fight scenes, and they're not even good. Right now, I'm rewatching Kingdom of Heaven. I'm doing this thing where I watch all 3 versions of Kingdom of Heaven. And let me tell you, every fight scene in Kingdom of Heaven is solid. It adds to the movie. It's good. The fight scenes in movies in 2024 do not add to the movie at all. It makes it kind of boring. It's like the worst part of the movie, which is shocking for me to say. And then finally, why is 2024 so disappointing? Endings. The endings in 2024 have been so disappointing. It's the 3rd act. It's what wraps up the movie. We need good endings to tie the nice little bow on the story that's been told. And they've just been disappointing in 2024. So, hope you enjoyed the Lagniappe section. I hope you enjoyed this review. And I'll catch you next time on the Movie Spreadsheet.